Hey, good morning, fig friends, fig freaks, me being one of you. We had a conversation yesterday, I think it was, in the group about pinching, P-I-N-C-H, pinching fig trees. And some people had questions about it, not understand it, or a misconception about it. And believe it or not, down this row, this is my east side row of figs, I could hardly find a branch down through here that I hadn't already pinched. But the concept or the practice of pinching is to take the apical dominant node of the tree, which is always the highest node of the tree, has apical dominance, A-P-I-C-A-L, apical dominance, and that's where the energy, most of the energy goes to. To a lesser extent, it happens on each individual limb. So the tip of those limbs or the tip of the tree gets the energy from the tree. And of course everything regarding a tree wants to grow. Now the theory of pinching is to stop that apical dominance and force the energies of the tree and how it communicates up and down the tree itself and individual limbs to a lesser extent at what it should do, kind of. So I did find an example of something that I hadn't pinched. Here's a very young tree that I grafted, and it has a top graft on it here, and it also has a little chip graft on it down here that thankfully has taken. And this is the end top bud on the tree, top bud on this branch, and that's where the dominant bud on this particular thing. You can see there are a couple of nodes, if you look real closely down here, where it's pushing, or some buds where it's pushing out of the nodes, and those will either be another branch or hopefully a fruit, but it's barely showing anything on it. So when you look up and down your branches and you don't see fruit forming here or just tiny little nodes on it, all the energy is going right here. It's going to continue to grow. So what the practice does is you simply take that little bitty tip right here and you break it off. So there's the end bud. That's broke off, and what that hopefully will do is force these little bumps down here, to turn into fruit. And I'm going to do it on both of these because this is a dandy variety and I want fruit from it. So that helps to slow down the growth of it in that manner and force those hormones and all the growth of the tree to go into either producing another branch or a fruit. And that's exactly what it'll do. So that one did. Let me show you kind of how that works. Move stuff out of the way. This tree had a breba on it, which this variety is not supposed to have a breba, so I doubt that that's going to mature. But otherwise, it wasn't forming any fruit on the branches of it. Now, granted, this is short, but I'm not going to wait a month or two to decide I want fruit. So I pinched the top of it right here, and you can see that it's forming a fruit and another limb. So another limb will come out of this and continue on. It will form another bud, and that will have apical dominance again, but it's forming a fruit there. And usually this happens in just a couple of days. Well, here's a great example. This limb, I did not pinch. So it's been on here longer than this one has, or it's growing more, and there's not a fruit set on it anywhere. It's got a couple of buds, but no fruit. I didn't pinch it. I don't know how I missed it. This one I did, maybe a week ago, and it's forming fruit. So what I'm going to do is take this one and pinch that part off, and that will help it. Hope that kind of helps you. I don't want to turn this into a long video, but that's what the practice is. Pinching that off. It's just another form of pruning. So you can prune in some fashion all year long. I didn't mean for that to end up being 5 minutes, but that is the concept of pinching. If you don't have fruit forming on your branches, doggone it, there's another one amiss. Look at that. No fruit versus no fruit forming. Have not pinched that. That one pinched, fruit forming. Pinch your trees if you don't have fruit forming on the limbs. Have a great figgy day. See you guys.